Welcome. Have you tuned in looking for some change? Have you tuned in looking for some common sense? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Four Quarter Show starring Mello and Align. I am your hostess with the mostest, aka Mr. Swiss Roll, the main event, the show stopper, Mello. And as always, I'm joined by the Cuban-American to my Colombian-American self, the man that reps Honduras more than Cuba for some odd reason.
I rep both. What is this that you keep saying, spewing these lies? As always, that's why the fans don't believe you. You say these lies. I rep both. I'm not like you. I don't flip-flop.
The man who claims the real white chocolate is Jay Will, but in reality, the real white chocolate is Mike Bibby.
That's the real white chocolate. You forgot to give me one name, and I feel that you need to turn around and give it to me, by the way. Turn around and hand me what's mine, and then give me the appropriate opening, because it's deserving of it, so turn around.
First off, before I do any such nonsense.
I need my belt.
That belt does not belong to you.
What?
Clearly.
What? Oh, wow.
When I went into last week, you know
go.
what? I'll explain it in halftime because I was clearly robbed this past weekend, like I normally am. Meaning just Melo has to grind and fight again.
So the past 4 weeks that you won, you weren't robbed. But this one you were robbed.
I demolished you.
So
it wasn't a narrow 4-3 victory. It was like 5-1.
It's the thing is, I don't complain.
6-1.
I don't complain. That's the thing. I don't complain like you do. So
it's okay. You're coming back here sooner rather than later.
Oh man, I need some hand sanitizer right now. Thank you so much. Oh, look at that. I have the title back where it belongs. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all my fans who are tuning in and watching and who are supporting the change. We bring you Four Quarters on a weekly basis because everybody needs some change in their life. And just like this title is changed to the right hands, we are going to give you an amazing Four Quarter show.
The title's taking a vacation, obviously, this week. That's all it is.
With that being said, let's tell you how Four Quarters works. Four Quarters is a show where Mello and I debate sports for 4 quarters. Each quarter is 10 to 15 minutes long, where we debate any sport: basketball, football, baseball, hockey, soccer, anything we want. We also have a halftime and an overtime. Halftime consists of where we have weekly wagers on games, football games, anything that's going on, and the loser needs to bring the winner the food or drink of their choice. Winner gets this beautiful belt. And we have an overtime where we discuss everything and anything but sports, movies, anything, whatever, doesn't matter, shows, magic, anything we want. So with that being said, anything before we begin?
Magic? A little Chris Angel action?
Well, we saw some Chris Angel earlier today.
I did.
But we'll talk about that later in OT.
Yes, I do want to, being that somehow Align, no, I know exactly how it happened, weaseled his way into the halftime championship this week. I'm a man of my word. I said we were going to have, either way, whoever won, croquetas were going to happen, shakes were going to happen. It's just from the places where we're going to vary. So, we have, oh, look at that, already fumbling everything. What Mr. Lorenzo asked for me to bring for him as the treat of being the winner, it was some mamey shakes.
Un batido de mamey.
Some mamey shakes from Latin Cafe 2000, just in case.
Taste of Cuba right there.
I don't know how good this is gonna. I'm not a big fan of these type of shakes. Give me a regular old banana, vanilla, chocolate.
I really want you to rate it though.
If you want to, I even take some Napoleon shake. And he asked for some. I'll make sure I'll point these up to the screen. Some croquetas from Isla Canarias.
Croqueta de jamón de Isla Canaria.
Yeah, these are some jamon croquetas. So he'll get one of those. I'll try one now before we start and kick things off. Sir, we dink it
Okay, there we go.
and sink it.
Mellow.
I will reserve my comments
done
until
right.
halftime about everything that was brought to the table today.
You haven't had your mame shake yet.
I hadn't.
Take a sip of it.
Timmy, we will be discussing Magic in OT, as we did see some, and I think you saw it last night too, some levitation happen from somebody. Mr.
Which-
Rodriguez, thank you for tuning in. We will save you one.
Which I would love to be a part of the Just Too Sweet show, Tim, next time, because I want to discuss what we're going to discuss later. And we need to discuss it in more detail on your podcast. That's Tim from the Just Too Sweet show, which everybody should tune in on.
Normally it's Tuesdays, but today they had a little bit of a setback,
It's
and
delicious.
actually one of the other gentlemen was having his test run for his own show. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
you want to stick in for that. Before we start four quarters, I know Alani explained what it is. If you are watching us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever it is, go ahead and make sure you follow, whether it's us, our YouTube channel, the Four Quarter Show, or Pop Culture Pros on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right. So subscribe to our channel if you're watching right now, the Four Quarter Show. If you're watching it on YouTube, just click the subscribe button very quickly and ring that bell to get reminded. With that, okay, we need a fifth person for a tiebreaker for the Taker tournament. Listen, you let me know. I would love to be that fifth person.
All right, and with that, we're going to start off the Four Quarter Show, quarter number 1.
15 minutes on the clock. Let's get it going with NBA free agency.
Ooh, there was a lot happening this week.
There was so much going on that I almost told you let's have a Sunday podcast, because there's just, how are we going to talk about so much free agency talk in just one day? But we're going to make it happen for everyone because we just have to.
Absolutely.
So are we going to start off with the reigning
With the colluding.
world champions? Is that what we're going to start off with?
We're going to start off with the collusion that is the NBA, which has now become a LeBronopoly, and making all
So
his
it wasn't a
friends-
monopoly when Kevin Durant joined.
Absolutely not, because
It wasn't a monopoly when anyone else does
joined.
it.
It was one guy that joined.
It wasn't
not,
a monopoly when Paul George went to the
not-
Clippers.
Not the whole.
It wasn't
again,
a monopoly for anything
one guy.
else.
One guy.
Yeah,
compared to
and the Lakers got Anthony Davis.
Not only that, one guy, and not only that, but you don't have, your boys, conspiring and luring the
Okay.
guys that they're running.
All
No,
right.
you're not giving
Before
them the
we
best.
even, the thing is, let's tell the fans what the collusion is, allegedly. Okay, so what happened is the Lakers made some drastic moves this past weekend by getting Mark Gasol, Schroeder, Harrell from the Clippers, and Wesley Matthews from the Bucks, which I loved as a pickup. They got these 4 players. They lost Rondo to the Hawks. And apparently, Melo is unhappy that the Lakers were able to obtain these players. Even though none of them are superstars by any means, and none of them are worth, the amount of money that Kevin Durant or Anthony Davis is, these are just core players that he is upset about. So tell me, what did LeBron do?
So, let me paint you a little picture here.
It's going to be a long talk, so let me get a croqueta.
Mr. Montrezl Harrell went ahead. He just was 6th man of the year for the Clippers, right? You're thinking this man easily worth anywhere between, with the deals that we were seeing this offseason, easily worth anywhere between 12 to 15 mil a year, right? Meaning he could have signed with the Clippers, he could have signed with anyone else, Toronto, Milwaukee, Atlanta, or, he could have gone with Jordan and the Hornets, that he's just giving away money to whoever he sees fit. But no, what does the 6th man of the year decide to do? He goes to his agent, Rich Paul. And what does his agent get him? A 2-year deal for $19 million to go join the Los Angeles Lakers. That doesn't sound suspicious to you? Where your agent is supposed to be looking out for your best interest, not his best friend's best interest. But instead of, Harrell, wanting to go make that money, be a smart man. Because if he gets hurt, guess what? You just left money on the table. But no, let's go and help LeBron out. And that's exactly what's been happening with all these signings. Your Marc Gasols, your Schroeder trade, your Wesley Matthews. So you want to tell me there was no colluding? It clearly was colluding. LeBron reached out to his boy because if LeBron goes and does it, that's a big deal. But if his agent goes and does it and hey, Rich Paul, try to get so-and-so guy, he's going to go ahead and do it. And this is where the collusion goes. And this is exactly why I'm sure Jordan is laughing it up, watching all this happen, because he didn't have to do this. He didn't have to go collude. He was going to go out and win it himself. He didn't need 15. He didn't need a guy from 1 through 15 to help him out.
Are you done with this nonsense? So is it going to be colluding when Giannis comes to the Heat? Because Giannis and Bam have the same agent. Your example is ridiculous. Schroeder got to the team because they traded Danny Green. About the same salary. It was a fair trade. There was no colluding there. Marc Gasol got the veteran minimum. No colluding there. He took that contract. Wesley Matthews, no colluding there. Harrell, the Clippers didn't even want him.
Which should tell you a lot.
You know what? But that's fine because nobody wanted Rondo, nobody wanted JaVale McGee, nobody wanted Dwight Howard. These are all players who had character issues, and LeBron James, the leader that he is, he gets these players and he makes them into champions, and now they're worth even more money. Dwight Howard got more money with Philadelphia. Rondo's getting more money at the Hawks. That's what LeBron does.
How much money did Delonte West get after playing with LeBron?
Why are we talking about Delonte West? It's not
okay.
You see, you have to talk about something else when I spew facts to you.
It's not
the
facts.
Lakers did not.
I literally
collude.
gave you exactly what happened.
You're making it seem like if they got these superstars or did something wild. They didn't. They got core players. Look.
So you're going to tell me LeBron James did absolutely nothing this offseason. He won an NBA championship and was like, hey, Rich Paul. Or that Rich Paul didn't even reach out to him and say, hey, LeBron, who do you think we should get for you? Come on, man. All those guys, they're best. Those 5 guys are all best friends. They're all looking out for each other. Not looking out for anyone else.
But that's not colluding, though. That's not colluding,
bro.
No,
That's colluding. It's a LeBron-opoly, and it's not fair.
So Wade, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade all colluded? Like, dude, the thing is, it's
if we want to get
ridiculous.
if we want to get technical, they did. If we want to get technical, they absolutely did. They did collude to come play with each other. Where they were going to go, that was the question. How can you pass up a place that's, 90 degrees all throughout the year? Crap,
did the Lakers get better? I don't know. I know they have a great look. Pelinka deserves to be exactly the year. He deserved it last year, and he deserves it this year if they end up playing well. The Lakers, I can't tell you if they got better, but they do have great names now. From top to bottom, they're the best team in the West with the names. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Dwight Howard wasn't important when he hit situational basketball and they put him in certain situations. JaVale McGee, a great rim protector. Danny Green was not shooting threes the way he was, but he was amazing on defense and a veteran who knew what to do, be at the right place. And Rajon Rondo, his IQ is on LeBron's level. So, are they a better team? I don't know. But what Pelinka did to restructure and, quoting the great Pat Riley, retool, he retooled, and this is the best team in the West. Because if we talk about the Clippers, what did the Clippers do?
They got better at the position that Harrell was obviously a liability
You're really going to say Ibaka's a better player than Harrell? That's what we're going to say on this podcast, on our podcast. You're going to embarrass it. Ibaka's a better player than Harrell.
Absolutely.
Harrell was sixth man of the year.
The 19 mil that they gave Ibaka was worth more. It was going to be more valuable than the 19 mil. People
are going to tell me that all of a sudden Ibaka is the best player in the league. Ibaka is the life changer for the Clippers.
No one's saying that he's the best player in the league, but he gives them what they were missing. Montrez was playing. He was so preoccupied that Kawhi Leonard was living in San Diego and showing up to practice late when he should have been. When he should have been worried about his gameplay, him showing up in the playoffs, grabbing some rebounds, playing some defense. That's what he should have been concerned about. And that's exactly why Ibaka is going to be on the team, and that's going to be his concern.
The whole Clippers organization should have been concerned about winning because they were up 3-1. And then what happens? They lose because Paul George is awful. Kawhi Leonard isn't the best player in the world as he kept being deemed. He's just not great, and they're not making the moves to get better. If anything, the Clippers got worse. Did they get a better rim protector than Harrell is? Sure, but that's one quality in one team. You need a point guard because Beverly's not going to do it. Oh, the next 5 years are mine. No, they're not. You are not very good. You are good defensively, and that's it. So all this nonsense about Ibaka being this huge pickup for the Clippers, no, you need to make another splash. Because if you think Paul George and Kawhi Leonard is enough, it wasn't last year, and you couldn't make it past the second round.
Okay, last year had a lot of intangibles. You can't go into and say that.
Here we go.
You had what they have 4 months off. That is a complete killer to a lot of these guys. Then
But everyone had 4 months off.
Then you play in a bubble.
It's fair. Everyone's in a bubble. Everyone's in the same bubble.
Let me finish. They play in a bubble. And that, again, it's a game changer. Because these guys that are, when you don't have home court advantage, it's a lot different. So you can't tell me that, them not playing in the bubble was nothing. It absolutely was something. And again, it's like I told you, they were playing back to back to back, and some of these guys aren't used to that. Kawhi, unfortunately, he gets load managed, and he's not used to it.
Oh, he's not used to it. Wow, you're so nice when it comes to play.
And it was their first year together, so obviously you needed the chemistry, and they didn't have that.
Wow, when did you become Mr. Excuses? Oh yeah, that's right. When you talk about the Giants, all you do is make excuses for people. These are just excuses. They were all playing back to back.
That's won a Super Bowl in the last decade.
The Nuggets had gone. The Nuggets were 3-1 in the first round, came back to win, and the Clippers had them tired, had them down 3-1, and they still lost because that's what the Clippers are made out of. And you gave away the only dog you had. Can you imagine that the only dog they had, and you give them away? You just
said Montrezl Harrell's a dog.
That's the only dog they have.
I'm sorry, dogs don't complain.
Yeah, they do. They do. You know what a hard worker does? He complains when he sees people who are supposed to be the best players.
When did we hear Jimmy Butler complain about being down 2 guys, having to put the whole load, playing 47 minutes?
Because leaders don't complain. Leaders don't complain. No. Jimmy Butler's the leader of the team. But you can't be one of the dogs.
You know
who
Montrezl is?
Montrezl is not working.
Karl Anthony Towns. That's what he is. He's another Andrew Wiggins.
Who is?
Montrezl.
That's amazing. Then that's what we got.
Okay.
You're telling me the Lakers just got Karl Anthony Towns?
You got a bunch of guys that are going to disappear when it matters.
Look at that. The 5th guy is Karl Anthony Towns.
All right. So
the
guys are going to disappear when it comes down to
Rondo now. The Hawks have Rajon Rondo because the Clippers couldn't get him. That would have been scary. If you told me the Clippers got Rajon Rondo and Ibaka, then we have something. But they didn't. Rondo ended up signing with the Hawks because LeBron made his career better, helped him, and now he has a bigger contract with the Hawks.
Made his career better. So his career was crap up until then.
Money-wise, yes. Nobody wanted to sign him. He had an attitude issue. He had a locker room issue. He was seen the same way.
You said made his career better. That is not saying you gave him more money. His career was already set.
He's a Hall of Famer?
Rondo?
Exactly. So, yes, he made his career better because he gave him another title, and now he has another chance to be in the Hawks and go to the playoffs. But with that being said, that's the Lakers check. They're going to,
honestly, all Rondo did was he could have cemented himself because if he would have gone to the Clippers, they would have won. They would have beat the Lakers, and he would have cemented himself as, again, another LeBron James winning a championship with 3 different teams. But he didn't. He went to the Hawks. The Hawks aren't going to win Dilly Squad. They'll fight for the 7th through 8th seed in the play-in tournament, and that's about it.
All right,
I'm not impressed. What he did though was be smart. He got his money. That's it. Maybe the Clippers weren't offering the same amount of money. He went and got his money because that is what is most important right now to him. He's got 2 rings. He cemented his legacy. Rondo doesn't care anymore.
No, Carlos.
His child was having champagne in the middle of the court in Orlando.
He was not champagne. That's what we were having a couple podcasts ago. Carlos, no, the Lakers did not get cats. My co-host over here decided to compare Harold's dog in him.
He's not cats. A dog.
Yes, he is. He's a dog.
Dogs don't complain about your stars. No, you don't complain about, he's late to practice. He doesn't live in LA. He lives in San Diego. Come on, man. Man up and worry about your own game.
You know what? He was, because the last time I checked, the leader shouldn't be down 3-1 and then lose it for you guys. Because if
it was his fault. It was only his fault.
Listen. If I'm in Harold's position,
it was only his fault.
And my leader isn't showing up when we're down 3-1, yeah, that's Harold. That's Paul George's fault and Kawhi Leonard's fault. Absolutely. But enough of the Lakers.
Harold wants to talk a big game and he doesn't want to take responsibility.
It's not his fault.
How is it not his fault?
Because I just told
Jokic ate that man alive. Jokic looked like he was having Serbian dinner there.
Was the best player in the team. And what other bigs do they have? It took the Lakers to have Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, the Lakers had players to help against
The
Jokic.
fact
Who
that
did
you
the
just said
Clippers have?
JaVale McGee, who didn't see the court one time, just shows how inaccurate your statement is.
I'm saying that if Dwight Howard wasn't there, I'm saying they had bigs, not that he was in the game, but there was bigs enough to throw at Jokic. What did the Clippers do to help that situation? You're putting it all on Harrell. Where was Paul George in the fourth quarter?
That's his job.
Where was Clay throughout the game? No, you're putting it on one person. That's ridiculous.
That is his job.
All right, on to the Rockets, and we're going to keep talking about bigs here. Shout out to DeMarcus Cousins, who got picked up by the Rockets. You know, it sucks that the past couple of years he's gotten injured, and before that he was probably up there on, as the best center in the league. So it's nice that he got picked up by the Rockets for a 1-year deal. Do you think this is enough for one of the MVPs to stay? And when I say MVPs, I mean Harden or Westbrook. Do you think they're both going to leave?
I mean, at this point, they have to sit down. The management needs to go and sit down with them and be like, hey, look, what you were missing was this key piece. Let's see how it works out and see what happens. Because if not, I'm not trading these guys. For what? For pennies? For nickels? No. You got the big you need. If DeMarcus could stay healthy, and I really hope he does because I really like Boogie, I think that was the missing piece to them. I know the Lakers got better. The Clippers have gotten better.
What?
The Warriors are getting back to
How'd the Clippers get better?
Ibaka, baby. Ibaka.
Wow. And who's the point guard?
The Warriors are getting better.
Wow. The Clippers got
even
better.
though they lost Clay, they're getting better. And I think this gives the Rockets more of a fighting chance. As long as you don't have Westbrook come out and James Harden come out where they're going, 6 of 40 from three-point land, they have a chance. Maybe they should have, got back Trevor Ariza and not traded him all around the NBA. That would have been a better, another pickup for them. They're going to need more help, but I think Boogie, they're heading in the right direction with that.
I don't really disagree with anything you said on that one. I'm just happy to see DeMarcus in the league again. And if you can be a productive player, I hope he can come back to 100%. That's the end of the first quarter. So I'm just gonna finish off with DeMarcus talk.
Letting
you shut the hell up. If he comes back to 100%, that means you have a big three. But if he comes back 60-70%, you have a very serviceable center. That if maybe you get someone, we talked about maybe get someone like Whiteside who hasn't gotten picked up, but I don't think they have cap space for him. But if you get another big to play with him, I think that'll be.
Well, it depends how much money he asks for, because you either get a lot of money or you get nothing this offseason.
But yeah, that's the end of the first quarter. Melo, how do you feel? You're being a little trippy today.
You're being trippy.
Is it because of the mame shake? Is it because of the mame? It's because I have no headphones on today, so now I can really hear your nonsense and more.
My nonsense. You mean my facts, and then you're just spewing nonsense.
No, I spew facts. You spew whatever comes out of your mouth. Tell me how the mame shake is. Have you tried it? Show the fans how much you've had already.
I said I would leave my mame shake and everything for halftime. I will review it then.
Oh, so you haven't even tried it?
No, I have. That's why I'm
oh, okay. Got it. I see.
I'm using the croquetas to cleanse my palate.
All right, 15 minutes on the clock. Second quarter begins. We were supposed to finish off a couple other topics. We had the Hornets and Sixers, so let's just run through those really quick. The Hornets decided to sign Gordon Hayward and give all their money at him. Just here, take it all. Take all 120 minutes. Take it here. 31 years old. And then the Sixers traded for Steph?
No, the good Curry.
Oh, Seth is the good Curry.
Seth Curry.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, the Sixers got Seth Curry. So tell me about how are the Hornets?
And they got Dwight Howard.
I mean, the league is laughing at Jordan, right? For that. I mean, because I remember you saying earlier that Jordan was laughing at something. Well, the league is definitely laughing at that one. Tell me about the.
Jordan must know something we don't. He must have sent Gordon Hayward some of his secret stuff. Because
Mike's secret stuff.
That contract made no sense. $30 million a year. I remember telling you, why did he opt out of his contract? No one is gonna pay this man more than he's gonna get in the Celtics. And boy, was I wrong for the first time in a while.
Rumors were coming out that Celtics were gonna give him $100 million also.
Oh my God.
Teams were lining up to give him $100 million.
What did these? I don't understand it. The man spent 2 years basically hurt.
I don't know, dude. Some people are just nice, I don't have to tell you. I'm not. I don't think it was a dumb pickup. I think he's a great player. For me, it's more of his age and his injuries. If you told me he was 27 and he had these injuries, and now he has like no longer career, sure. But at 31 and this amount of money, you're kind of putting your team that just got LaMelo and kind of holding him hostage. I won't if he's not the good player. You had to drop Batum, right?
Yeah, I think they're gonna waive Batum,
They have to
and that's
waive
another
Batum.
guy that they're losing $9 million on.
They just haven't made good. I mean, if this works out, genius. I think he's a smart player. This probably benefits LaMelo, if anything. Hayward's not someone who demands the ball.
They better hope LaMelo is the second coming of Jordan.
And I will say also, the Hornets are going to have trouble getting free agents. So the Hornets do tend to have to overpay players to even come to Charlotte. But still, I don't think I would have overpaid him that much. And now, what about Seth Curry now and Dwight Howard in the Sixers? Do you think it's smart for Seth Curry to be playing with his father-in-law? Seth Curry is married to Doc's daughter.
I mean, didn't PG
Do you think his
play? I mean, have him get coached. So
do you think Mrs. Curry's gonna call Doc? Hey, Dad, how about you give him some more minutes? You think it's gonna be an issue?
I mean, I think he'll get his time just because, not because he's his son-in-law or whatever, but just as a two guard. He's gonna fit in there with Ben Simmons, since he can't shoot. And well, they lost Josh Richardson, so they're gonna use him more now. The Dwight Howard one was the one that kind of I thought was a little bit questionable. Him going over there, especially after him tweeting that purple and gold for life and all this other stuff, and then hitting him with the okie doke and going to Philadelphia. That was the one I was like, okay, hey, go ahead and make your money being the number 2 over there. Why not?
I think it's just he'll get more minutes there. I don't think he liked the situational playing he was doing, which I thought was amazing. I thought Dwight was great for the Lakers. He brought that spark, that defense, those important points or blocks whenever the team needed it for those 5, 10, 12 minutes a game.
I just thought at this point in his career, he should be worried about 2 things: where I can get the most money at and where I can win championships. Because he's not going to be fighting for any awards. Forget about playing time. At this point in my life, if I'm Dwight Howard, at this point in my career, I'm thinking, where can I get the most money and where can I win some championship rings? And I feel like LA would have been that
I
situation.
think Dwight's that guy who's just always looking for respect. I feel he thinks he always has to prove people wrong, and I agree with you. I think
I don't see why. I remember when we saw the all-decade team and he wasn't on there. I was like, yo, Dwight, how's Dwight not on this list?
He doesn't get respect, and I feel he always has to fight for that respect. So, but moving on to more important things. Heat talk, Miami Heat, the 305. With that being said, let me grab a croqueta from the 305, Isla Canaria. Tell me, Heat talk. Should we have kept Drake Crowder?
Yes.
Should we have paid Miles Leonard?
No.
Explain. Tell me what's going on. Why do we let go of Jay? Why did we keep Miles Leonard? You have a lot of feelings towards this. I don't know if Melo's a fan of Miles Leonard or not.
So, Miles Leonard, the best cheerleader in the NBA, got paid 2 years, $19 million, with the second year being a player option, not a team option. Meaning if he wants to come back and get his money, he can, and he's going to hold us hostage for another year. I don't know why. This bothered me when I first got the news, just because I was like, man, that's a lot of money for Miles Leonard. And then as the days progressed, it bothered me more and more because Ibaka getting the same deal. Montrezl Harrell getting the same deal. You had Aaron Baines getting less money than Miles Leonard, who plays more and has better stats. Marc Gasol, I think so did what's this guy from Denver? Paul Millsap got less. I just couldn't fathom where Miami just loves giving out these contracts that don't make any sense to me because of loyalty. Where was that loyalty when Dwayne Wade was on the team? Why was Dwayne Wade never the highest paid Heat player ever when he was here in Miami? But somehow Miles Leonard, your Tyler Johnsons are getting bank for no reason? It made absolutely no sense to me. And it got me more pissed off when Jay Crowder goes and leaves to the Suns for what? Just because you're offering him another year? Give the man his money. He was big in the playoffs for him. He's a gritty player. And I felt like it was just disrespectful. You gave Miles Leonard a ton of money, more money than he deserves. You gave Dragic more money than he deserves. At least his second year is a team option where we don't have to pick it up. But still, come on, guys. I'll let you go because this just is getting me more upset.
This is very upsetting for Melo. I do not mind paying Miles Leonard that money. It's not a lot of money, and I feel he's still a developing player who can still play better. And I think Butler loves him, and they all appreciate him. So I feel he might be worth it. Are we gonna miss Jay Crowder? Absolutely. He was a big push, but we did draft Precious, which we're gonna talk about. And I feel the signing of Avery Bradley had to do with us not going after Jay Crowder. Avery Bradley brings that defense and a better three-point shot than Jay Crowder would. But Jay Crowder did fit the Heat culture. You can tell Jay Crowder is somebody who worked hard and really,
And he didn't care who he was guarding. If you went and said, hey, you have to guard LeBron, he went out and did it. If you said, hey, go guard Anthony Davis for these couple minutes to give Bam or whoever a little break, he went out and did it. He never complained. Miles Leonard, I hope with this $9.5 million a year he goes and he gets himself some nice little pom-poms for what he's going to be doing all season on the bench.
I really hope he just comes and just breaks the three-point record at this point. But I guess I agree with the fact that it shouldn't have been a guaranteed on the second year. It should have been a team option, just like Dragons. But other than that, I don't mind him getting paid. Jay Crowder is going to be missed, and I like the Avery Bradley signing. Avery Bradley's going to be big for the 3 points, the defense. But tell me, what do you think about the draft pick? Precious. I don't want to butcher his last name, so I'm not going to say it. But Precious. Precious
Gesundheit. I thought the pick was good. I remember we were watching and I was like, watch, they're going to draft this guy Precious. And lo and behold, they ended up picking him up. I liked it. From what we had heard was that he's like Bam Adebayo, but with more of a better shot. So that I think will help us out. If he can get a better consistent jumper, hey, you want that type of player on your team.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I thought, it's a team option for Mark.
Is it? I'll look that up while you give me
I've been listening to your misinformation the past week then, because you've been bitching about this, saying it was a player option. Now it's a team option. Thank you, Julio. Let's see. Let's find out.
I'll look it up.
With that being said, I love the pick. Like if they're saying that the that he's just like Bam with a better shot, that's awesome. If that's the case, and I'm surprised that we gave Bam the huge contract, which we're gonna talk about after.
He is right.
But it's a team option. Also, the contract's amazing. Then what are you pissed off about?
But they have a no trade clause.
Oh,
both
who cares?
him and Dragic. What do you mean?
That's fine. The point is that we just care about having the salary cap for next year. That's all we care about. So if you tell me that's a no trade clause, perfect. That's fine. I'd say, hey, thank you. Breaking news by Julio, because this is why I shouldn't have said to Melo. I got to fact check Melo. Where are my Facebook fact checkers? Julio, right there. He needs to start putting little disclaimers over your comments, man. But I do love the draft pick, because he replaces a lot of things that we need with Crowder leaving and stuff. So having Bam and Precious out there, it could be something nice. We re-signed Bam, but we'll talk about that next. And UD, we still have UD. We got a coach sitting there. UD's the man. Why do you not like these pickups? I don't mind Miles. I love paying UD these either-year.
It's a wasted roster spot. Oh my goodness!
It's not the team.
We need to move on from Udonis. 18 years?
No, UD.
He's not Kobe Bryant.
UD.
He's not Kobe Bryant. If Udonis has him, if when was it, back in 2003 or whenever his contract was up, if Udonis has him, would have gone to the Mavericks like he could have gone to for more money. We're not talking about anybody retiring Udonis Haslam's number. The only reason his number is going to get retired in a Miami Heat uniform is because of how long his ass has been here and what he means to the city. Besides that, his numbers aren't anything. If you just put his numbers out there, no one's impressed by those numbers. They're not. He's not a Hall of Famer.
All right. Well, I don't mind paying Udonis that money. I feel the team loves him. Loves him.
You'd fit in right there with Mickey Harrison and Pat Riley. Hey, you want to give this player $2 million because of how long they've been here? Sure.
I am a champion.
We're not going to get better. We're not going to get better. But here you go. Here. Here's $2 million.
Okay, with that being said, Melo, which is your favorite signing?
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you. So Udonis Haslem is learning. I mean, Miles Leonard is learning from Udonis Haslem.
This is the first person to ever agree with you, and you have a smile from ear to ear.
Yeah, because she
Bro,
said
act
it
like you've been
perfectly.
there before, dude.
She said it perfectly.
And now we'll pay him that money. He's not just a
No.
cheerleader. He's a coach. One, it's a coach. He's a coach out there. I thought Leonard was the glorified cheerleader in your eyes. No, UD is a coach, and the team loves him. And I'm down. He can play some minutes. He can go some three couple. You see, UD is the Heat all-time rebounder. He deserves it.
He's been there for 18 years. Julio.
Right.
If he doesn't have any record, I would be worried. Why he's still on the team? Why he's still in the NBA?
Which is your favorite signing from a team right now? Resigning player. Do you love Mitchell with the Jazz? Do you love Miami Heat signing Bam? Do you love Brandon Ingram and the Pelicans? Do you love Jason Tatum and the Celtics? Or do you love the Raptors getting Van Vliet?
I like the Raptors getting Drake 2.0.
Oh my goodness. We're going to come... The thing is that the Hayward pickup was so outlandish that Van Vliet seems like nothing now.
Ortonic, we spoke about that a little bit earlier in this quarter about Gordon Hayward and what we thought. And well, as a Hornets fan, actually we talked about, we want to hear from a Hornets fan. What do you think about it? Do you think it was smart? Do you think they should have given him the 30 mil? For us, it's like what Alliance said. He said, you know, not a lot of people, what is the Northern? Charlotte isn't a destination where you think about playing. So you kind of think you have to overpay these guys. So do you think that's true or not?
I thought his stats are good for a player at his age and being the fourth option in the team. I think that he's a great pickup. My thing, Ortonic, is his age and his injuries for that amount of money. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, because it wasn't just like a little injury.
That's the only reason why it's off, you know. But as far as his game, I think he still has a game. It's just hopefully his body holds up. What are you smiling about over there? What are you chipping about?
I'm gonna go to the chat for a second.
Yeah, Leonard over Whiteside for sure, because Whiteside is he's a toxic player, which is why he's still a free agent.
I can't wait for Whiteside to go somewhere and change. Man, I hope Whiteside goes to the Lakers and then I want to see your whole demeanor change. And again, thank you. That's exactly what I said. Demote him.
It's not. He's not gonna take it because the coaches get paid way less.
He's being selfish. He's thinking about himself and not about the team.
He's being smart.
He's thinking about himself and not the team.
I don't mind him doing that. Exactly. That's why they overpaid for him. I mean, that's the thing is. Ortonic is also that.
But he also said he's still very mad about it though. So it explains that. And like you said, now you have to waive. Well, like I said, you have to waive Batum. You lose $9 million there. It's like they're trying to overpay too much.
That's the issue, is that you guys keep overpaying. Who was the guy? Rozier.
Rozier.
You're overpaying Rozier. You overpaid Batum. The Charlotte Hornets keep overpaying these players, which goes down to they can't get these other big names. But man, it's just rough now.
You were saying. So my favorite signing?
Yes.
I guess I'll go with the. I don't want to go with Jason Tatum just because I'm still too unsure about him. So I'll go with Donovan Mitchell. Oh.
And that's the buzzer, Donovan Mitchell.
So how about you? What's your favorite signing? Is it Drake?
You know, I hate that. I think I hate that more than Gordon's, honestly. I would rather overpay someone who's at least a superstar or a star than Van Vliet. I'm sorry.
So you don't think Van Vliet, the man who made clutch shots in the finals?
Okay. I'm not even gonna do this. I hate agreeing with you, so I'm not gonna agree with you. I feel I'm not gonna pick Little Wade. I'm gonna pick Jason Tatum. Even though I don't think Jason Tatum is the fourth quarter killer, he definitely has that LeBron in him.
Right,
LeBron is so clutch. I think
Yep.
Jason. You know what, Jason Tatum? He's this young. He's been to the playoffs almost every year in his career. So, yeah, right.
Yeah, I think so.
And I feel he's gonna develop. He's gonna be like LeBron, where he'll get better in the fourth quarter as years go along.
What I do like about this contract is they basically showed him, hey, look, we believe in you. This is your team.
Yeah.
Now it just happens. Are they gonna keep Jaylen Brown? What are they gonna pay that man?
We'll see. Now Jaylen Brown has that killer in him. Jaylen Brown,
He does.
definitely, I feel has that good.
With that, guys, we are now to the halftime. And I know it's very unusual to see me without the belt. It's unfortunately over there. Like I said, it's taking a vacation. I lend it to a line this weekend. If you recall, last week I clearly said I'm going to give you this one. And it came down to that dumb game with New Orleans that I thought Jameis Winston was starting. But then last minute, Hill ended up starting. And that game should have been thrown out completely because I went into it with a different mindset. That's like saying that Jameis Winston is going to play for the Milwaukee Bucks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. And then all of a sudden, last minute, Tom Brady comes in. Obviously, like it's two different sides of the story.
So I love that he's complaining about the team that I had. Mind you, he decided to pick that other team.
Because I wouldn't have picked Atlanta had I known Hill was playing.
Nonsense. I have the Saints. And we're not talking about Drew Brees getting benched. We're talking about backups. Like they switched Jameson for Hill. Oh, wow.
Hill's a dynamic player.
Who's never started a game in his career.
It doesn't matter.
If anything, it was to your advantage. It was to your advantage.
Based on what he's done.
What, his 4 plays a game?
Yeah.
Get out of here. That's nonsense. All right. Moving on. I am the new halftime champion. And I have the belt. With that being said, guys, we're excited.
Now, since we're there, before we go into what we're going to do this weekend, I'm going to give my critique of the choices that Lion made here. And like most of his choices, they aren't that great. So first off, we're going to start with this Mame shake, which he downed. And
he's already going with the wrong mindset.
Barely hit the surface.
He's not open-minded to these things.
I went in. I looked like a strawberry shake over here. I tried it. I'll try it again. It's not that great. I'm not a big fan. You made a big deal about this ice cream in it. I can taste it, but would I ever order this again? No.
Of course not. It's okay. That's why you're a loser.
And then we're going to go to the croquetas from Isla Canarias.
They're the best croquetas in Miami, so I don't know how you're going to complain about this. Here we go. He's going to be the only person in Miami who doesn't like these croquetas. Just because he wants to spite me. You know what? When I win, I'm going to choose the croquetas from the croqueta place. And then okay.
I've never been to that croqueta place. I just wanted to try them.
Okay.
I've had these Isla Canarias croquetas before. And I think these croquetas, I'm going to look at the camera. I'm being honest here.
Wow, first.
Are some of the most overhyped croquetas I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow. Well, there goes us.
When a croqueta,
La Canaria.
First off, when a croqueta needs lime to make it taste better, you're already starting off bad. These need lime on them. They don't, but they can use it.
Oh, wow, dude.
I'm going to tell you right now what I think is the best croqueta in Miami. And I feel like...
The ones from Sedano's they're frozen. He heats them up in his microwave.
No. There's some that not a lot of people try. I just try them because of where I work. And they're the ones from the Port of Miami, from the Siemens Center. A lot of people don't know about this place because, again, if you don't work at the port, you don't go eat there, you won't know. I've worked at the port. Those croquetas are fantastic.
Coincidence. The ones that you work at them. Okay, yeah, of course. All right.
And they're not this thick. They're not this dry. They taste good. They're crunchy. Like, it's just a better croqueta overall. Not that these are bad. I just think people say they're the best thing since sliced bread. No, it's not. They're good. They're not great.
Stuff? Let's get back to halftime and his reviews over here. It's nonsense, dude. The croquetas at Isla Canaria are delicious. People love them. I don't know why he's the one here spewing nonsense. And my mame shake, not for everyone. A lot of people don't like mame, but it's delicious. And if you like mame, it's an acquired taste. If you like mame, then go to Latin Cafe 2000.
You can't even get it right. You can't even get the own restaurant name right.
Because I was like, I started off with cafe.
We lost that sponsorship
Latin
too.
Cafe 2000. Well, we lost it because you keep talking nonsense.
We lost this sponsorship too.
All right, guys. We actually have a lot of exciting news that I want to tell you now in halftime. You guys know that we have the halftime belt that we always argue about. You know, we're always fighting for. And this is going to be the belt that we have for the podcast, for the actual shows, 4-quarter shows. We are going to bring you more belts, more championships. This Thursday, as you know, is Thanksgiving and there are football games. So now we want to bring to you the working title Turkey Belt, where me and Melo are going to wager on Thanksgiving games. So we're gonna wager all the football games on Thanksgiving, and we decided to add the 2 college football games that we didn't even know these teams existed. I'm just kidding. These 2 football games, these 4 teams that are playing, and the winner gets the title. We didn't discuss this, but does the winner get something else? These 5 games. Yeah, 5 games. The winner gets just the belt, or do you want to add something else in there?
I mean, this is a work in progress, so we can just do the belt for right now.
All right, so we got the belt for Turkey Day. If you have any ideas of what we should do, maybe we got to take 4 shots, maybe we got to do something. You let us know what you think. But with that, we decided to also, should we tell them about the other belts or just this one?
We'll leave the other belts, you know.
All right, so we got the Turkey belt, and the games are going to be Colorado State versus Air Force, which Melo chose Air Force. We have New Mexico versus Utah State, which Melo has New Mexico. And those are the 2 college football games that we're choosing. Next 3 are Washington versus Dallas. And Melo, can you believe he picked that? Just kidding. He picked the Washington Redskins, my boy Alex Smith.
I technically didn't pick him. He picked Dallas because I refused to pick Dallas.
Yeah. And then Detroit versus Houston. Melo picked Houston. Interesting on the 3rd game because we both agreed that Pittsburgh should win this game. They're 10-0. Baltimore also has their running backs with COVID. So we decided that I gave him the idea that if I pick Baltimore, then I'll get 2 points for that game. So he picked Pittsburgh, and if Baltimore wins, then I get 2 points. And that is for Thursday. That is for Thursday for the Turkey belt, working title. We'll see. If you guys have any ideas for the title, let us know.
Yeah, like the Pilgrim title.
I don't think we're allowed to say those things anymore, right? It's not right. Pilgrim.
The mashed potato bowl title.
That's
whatever you guys think about it.
Gravy. All right, and now for the halftime title, the halftime belt. We have seven games, but 3 of them are not football. We actually switched it up this time around.
Isn't it 2?
Huh? We have 7 games.
2 of them aren't football.
Oh, what did I say?
3.
Oh, well, 3 of them aren't football. That's not football.
1.
2. Oh, wow, I'm looking it up here. You're right.
The man can't count.
Oh, man, what was the
And if we want to get technical, only one of them isn't football.
Well, 2 of them aren't football because that's golf. And that's soccer. Oh, I see, because of football.
It's football.
Ah, you're so funny. All right, so
Ooh, look at this name for a title. The Gobbledygooker title.
we got to put that one in consideration. All right, so for the halftime belt, we have the Seattle Sounders versus the Los Angeles FC. That is a playoff soccer game. That's tonight at 10, so we're going to probably watch that one after the podcast. And then we have football, which is Tennessee Titans versus Indianapolis Colts. Ryan Tannehill versus Phillip Rivers. Who'd you got?
I thought I had Indianapolis.
No. Yes, you do. What's wrong with me today? Man.
I don't know what's going on.
You see, this is why we always double check it and we fix it. That's why
I remember you wanted to go with Taneyville this week. You wanted to take a trip there. I took a trip last week.
You're right.
Regret it.
All right, and now we have Carolina Panthers versus the Minnesota Vikings. The way Skip calls them is, you got the Minnesota Vikings and the third cousins.
I'm going with the cousin, with Captain Kirk, because
there you go.
I don't.
And honestly, I have confidence that no matter who quarterbacks for the Panthers are going to win that game. And we have, of course, our typical Miami and Giants games. I have Miami against the Jets. Melo has the Giants versus Cincinnati Bengals, which both should be easy victories. And if either one of our teams lose, oh my goodness. And then last but not least, we have Kansas City versus Tampa Bay. Melo,
Not last, but that's the second to last game.
for football.
Okay.
Last pick for football. Kansas City Chiefs versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I picked the Buccaneers for this one. Probably not the right choice, but I can't bet against my boy Tampa Brady. He shows that when he has awful games, he tends to, bring it in on the second game. So hopefully he does well, because last game he did atrocious.
He's done atrocious the last couple
But not
games.
least, we have a golfing match.
Ooh.
Curry and Manning. Steph Curry and Peyton Manning versus Mickelson and Charles Barkley.
Phil Mickelson and Chuck. This one, again, I am giving a line the advantage.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You picked the only professional golfer there.
With Charles Barkley, which everyone knows is probably the worst athlete golfer out there.
Okay, if Kevin Durant, say 2-on-2 pickup game, it's Kevin Durant. Oh, you see?
Go.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for your explanation.
Imagine if it's Kevin Durant versus, let's see, Kevin Durant and me.
Okay.
And me versus you and Christian McCaffrey. Who's gonna win?
Me and Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, of course, yeah. Okay,
A better. You know what? No, I know where you were going. That was horrible.
Whatever.
That was a horrible explanation. Better off would have been saying you and Kevin Durant. Let's throw out and me and Macho. I'm putting me and Macho still up there to beat you guys.
That's awful because that's not. But okay, I see what
are
you're
you
saying.
talking about? They're both athletes. Oh, you mean because it's two different sports?
Yeah. But it's fine. It's fine. I see. We both go on the same thing, but you're not giving me the advantage. It's an The whole point is that this is interesting.
Have you seen Charles Barkley swing a golf club?
So with that being said, I
then.
am your halftime champion. It's back home where it wants to be. So I'm gonna leave it right here.
I'll get you later, baby. Before we go on to quarter number 3, I'm gonna go and read some of our comments here from our fans, and we have Carlos saying that it's not fair what I'm saying about the Isla Canaria croquetas, saying if you don't work at the port, how would you know? Well, there's definitely a lot of websites like Yelp or Google that you can look and see which ones are good.
Are you being sarcastic with our followers?
I'm not saying that it's
Jesus,
bad.
Carlos, I'm sorry, man.
I'm not saying that the ones from Isla Canarias are bad. I'm just
Let me
saying
Google.
that
Let me
everyone
Google. I'm gonna Google right now. Best croquetas in Miami and see if the port comes out.
Obviously, it's not. No one goes there for
then why'd you
croquetas.
even tell them to Google it then?
I'm just saying, how would you know if you don't work there? I'm just saying, word of mouth. Look it up.
That's not fair. Word of mouth. What is it? 1994, dude. If it's not on Google, nobody knows, and nobody knows about it because nobody works at the port that's famous or popular. Nobody.
This guy.
Oh, okay. Let's go. When all our
anyway.
fans can know to go. Can we actually just go there and have them? Is that like?
Oh, absolutely, you can. I think though the Siemens Center is only open until like 2 or 3 p.m., so you gotta go early. I'm just saying that I'm not saying that they're bad. Isla Canarias, they're good. They're just not as great as people make them seem. That's it.
Right.
They're like it's like the LeBron James of croquetas. They're great, but some people like to overhype them, and they're not that good. There's other ones that you can put against these, and they're gonna be better.
Remember, guys, subscribe to our channel. Please follow us. Click on the bell to get a reminder so when we go on. We're also on Facebook. Remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We appreciate all the support. We have a lot of good things coming up for you, especially with the new belt and things like that. So
Instagram and Twitter at the #4 quarter show.
I am currently sharing it now on Facebook since I hadn't before. But okay, let's get the third quarter going on, shall we? Absolutely. For everyone still listening, third quarter, let's go. We're gonna once again, we're gonna start off with some basketball talk just to finish it off. We had some bad news this week with Klay Thompson, who plays for the Golden State Warriors. He tore his Achilles on his other leg. So how do you feel about that? And how do you feel about the Warriors trading for Oubre, who was in the Suns, which then got traded to the Thunder, and then the Thunder gave him to the Warriors?
It's very unfortunate for Klay. I thought, after last season, he fought in the finals before that, and I thought, hey, he's gonna come back and at least be good. Unfortunately, he wasn't, and now this injury just on his other leg. It's very unfortunate for him. I'm hoping he comes back strong, but I think the Oubre pickup was big because he's just trending upwards. So that's another key piece. I like him more than I do Wiggins. And I think the Warriors are going to be there competing. They're not going to be favorites right out the box. But healthy Curry, healthy Oubre, healthy Draymond, they can definitely make a push.
Oh, man. Well, they're definitely going to be better than a healthy New York Giants team. So that's all that really matters. The Warriors are no excuse team, unlike the New York Giants. So I think the Warriors are gonna be. Hold on, can I finish my point? I didn't interrupt you on your point. You were here spewing some stuff. I'm just saying we're getting close to football talk, so that's why I got football on my mind right now. But just to finish off the thought, they're gonna miss him tremendously. It's interesting about the Warriors is they're all very important pieces. I can't think of another team that each one is so important. Where Draymond is the leader of the team who gets them focused. You have Curry, who's just a superstar.
Well, I mean, you can't say that about the Miami Dolphins because no one's important there. They just been sucking for 40 plus years. So you can continue.
I agree. I'm not like you, who I'm not a realist. So, God, you see how he just says this nonsense.
It's facts.
And then Curry's the superstar of the team, and then Clay was just that guy who did both. He would shoot the threes, give you 30, and cover the best person on the team. So Clay's going to be missed. Oubre's not going to fill that void.
So
this is going to be a 7 to 10 team.
I would give him at least 5.
Nah, there's no way they're 5.
I give him 5.
I don't think they're 5. I think
if they all stay healthy, I give him 5. If someone goes down, no.
Curry needs Clay. It's not even. I think Curry is like Kyrie Irving. Like they can.
Oubre, I feel like if bro, he's trending upwards. He can fill in that role,
but not the Clay role.
But no. So now, do you think Clay is the best 2-way player?
I absolutely do think he's
in
the
the
best
league.
Yeah.
He's better than Kawhi.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
He is. Yeah. We're just talking about 2-way player.
This is exactly why you don't listen to this.
No, because opinions. The thing is, the question.
Klay Thompson wouldn't be able to lead any team to the finals.
Because
Kawhi did that by himself.
Here's your wrong, because there's 2-way player, there's a rebounder, there's a block. Only because someone's the best rebounder doesn't make him the best player. You ask me who's the best 2-way player. Klay Thompson.
He's not. It's
Klay
Kawhi
Thompson
Leonard.
defends the best player better than Kawhi Leonard can. And
no,
then at the same time,
what defensive player of the year has Klay Thompson won?
Well, the defensive player of the year.
3 of.
Okay. Marc Gasol once beat LeBron James defensive player of the year. That is ridiculous things I don't believe in that dumb award anyways. Klay Thompson can give you 30 points in 12 dribbles and be covering the best player on the other team.
I'll give you right now the stat. If Steph is the one that goes down, right? Is Klay Thompson getting more wins? No, he's not leading that team to the finals. Unlike Kawhi, that took a Raptors team that couldn't get anywhere, past the second round, and took him to the finals and won.
I disagree with you. Who are we replacing Curry for at point guard?
Nobody.
That's not fair because Curry has Oubre. You have to
but last year he didn't have anybody, and they still weren't winning.
The whole team was injured last year. I'm saying in this example that you're giving me that Thompson wouldn't win more games. I actually think there's an argument that he'd win more games than Curry. I feel both players would make the playoffs because
Klay doesn't handle the ball like. Klay gets to 60 without dribbling. At least Steph Curry can dribble and shoot and create his own shot. Klay rarely creates his own shot. So you're hoping that you have a point guard that can at least set you up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you're hoping that
yeah, but Steph can do that by himself.
Steph, okay, that's what the misconception. Steph does it because he has Klay on the other side, and it's harder. It's harder to just double up Curry when you have Klay on the other side. Worry about the other 3. I don't know. It's interesting, and I don't think either of us are wrong in this situation. But you can't think I'm crazy for thinking Klay's the.
No, I don't think so. I think he's good.
There's an argument between him.
I don't think it's.
Who's better, Klay or PG?
I think Klay is better than PG.
Okay, so it's Klay and Leonard.
I don't think he's better than Leonard though.
I can tell you who has more rings. All right.
Wait. Oh, I think he has one more. He has one more.
All right. So, Matt, I guess 2 minutes on this. How do you feel about the rumor that Anthony Davis has not signed this contract because they're trying to get Giannis? They're waiting on Giannis to see if he signs a supermax. And for all our fans listening, it's because if Anthony Davis waits to sign his contract to see what Giannis does, if Giannis does not sign the supermax and it's the final year, that means that Anthony Davis will just sign a 1-year contract since LeBron has 1 year left, and next year they'll just have an open salary cap and try to bring all 3 in, just like the Heat did back with Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. What do you think? Do you think it'll be unfair? Do you think it'll be interesting to watch them play?
It's just making my argument about a LeBronopoly more true.
But it's not a LeBron.
Might as well make him the commissioner
they're all
of the
doing
league.
1-year contracts.
Adam Silver should just be like, here you go, LeBron. You handle the league how you want because...
And people watch when he's playing, so that's not even a bad idea. When
really?
LeBron plays...
How many people were watching the finals this year?
You know,
because I'm pretty sure that the Houston Astros had more people watching their
That's
Game
not
7
LeBron's fault.
Okay.
But I will say that's a good point. But even then, if it wasn't LeBron, then nobody would be watching.
I am so happy about the NBA the last 2 years because this whole watching Cleveland and the Warriors got boring in the finals real fast.
Yeah, because KD joined it.
That's not why it got boring. I mean, that became more entertaining.
No, it didn't. It became so much, that's it, they're going to win. It was actually more interesting when it wasn't, KD wasn't in the picture.
Not really. I got bored with it right there in year 3. So I'm actually happy. You have more contenders. So I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Giannis go over there.
Well,
of course, I want to see him come here, but I would rather him go elsewhere. Go to the Knicks. Go to the Clippers. Go to Golden State. I don't want to see him here.
I don't think he's a good match in the Lakers, honestly. I know it sounds dumb saying that because it's Giannis and he's probably the best player in the NBA next to LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard. And I guess Kevin Durant, I have to say, because people love Kevin Durant. But I don't think he would fit well. He needs to go to a team like the Warriors and the Heat, like you said, to have 3-point shooters. I would love to see it, though. Screw it. I think that'll be awesome.
Who becomes Chris Bosh? That's the thing.
Giannis would have... Actually...
I think LeBron James needs to go into that role at that point.
LeBron is still handles the ball too much. And I feel...
Yeah, but I mean, in Chris Bosh, as in, like, he doesn't got to score. He just has to do his job. Let Anthony Davis and Giannis do the scoring, the rebounding, and you just sit back, chill out. Whenever you get the kick out 3, go ahead and drain it. But you don't have to attack the rim. Because you can't demand the ball like that anymore if you have these 2 guys on your team. He has to take the Chris Bosh role and know, hey, I'm not going to be scoring 20. Yeah, people are going to be talking crap because I'm not averaging 20-something points a game. But hey, your sister should be up more.
All right, man, that's a good point. I think it'll be interesting to see what they do and what the Lakers do and see what happens. I think it's probably going to happen where Anthony Davis signs a 3-year deal. I think he's going to do that with a player option and just see what happens when LeBron retires. With that being said, let's finally move to some NFL talk. What do you think about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Still the only undefeated team at 10-0. A lot of people probably didn't see this happening because last year Big Ben didn't play most of the year. He was hurt, but this year he came back with a vengeance. Not to bring down what they've done. They had the easiest schedule this year. They've played the Giants and teams like that, so it's understandable why they're 10-0. But tell me, what are their chances to do they continue the streak?
They played the Giants, but only beat them by 10 points. Yeah,
you see, you're one of those people who defends these things. You know what? A loss is a loss. When a team loses, they lose. When the Dolphins lose, they lose. But you become Skip Bayless all of a sudden. Yeah, but they only lost by 10.
I become Skip Bayless because I'm right.
Once again, quoting.
I become Skip Bayless because I'm right. I'm just saying.
Quoting Fast and the Furious.
Bring that up.
It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Okay,
the
Pittsburgh Steelers will beat your team because you know why they won 26-16? Because your quarterback, Daniel Day-Lewis Jones, because he's an actor out there pretending to be a quarterback. That's right. That's his new name, Daniel Day-Lewis Jones. He is acting a quarterback out there, and he can only score 16 points. That man is not a quarterback.
You were at that point. They were still missing 2 of their top receivers, so. He has not had a
quarterback wins no matter what. A good quarterback makes opportunities. A good quarterback doesn't need weapons. But answer the question. Tell me, what are their chances to go 16-0? They play the Ravens next, then Washington, then the Bills, Bengals, Colts, and then Browns.
If they beat the Bills, they're going undefeated. They're not losing to the Ravens this weekend. I don't think so.
You see, I think there's a chance for them to lose to the Bills, Colts, and Browns, and I feel they're going to lose. I don't think
games. They're not going to lose to the Browns. They're not losing to the Bengals, and they're not losing to the Washington.
The Browns have figured things out. They're doing exactly what I predicted. They're playing better without Odell Beckham Jr. They're doing exactly how I said in this podcast that they'll probably start playing better. The coach has realized.
Really? Or is it that Nick Chubb came back?
Maybe it's a mix of both. But I feel this was better for
Because honestly, Baker hasn't been doing squat really. It's been
Exactly.
It's been the power. It's been Chubb and Hunt
because he's
running
not
over these
he's
teams.
not forcing the ball to Odell.
They still could have done
anymore.
that with, if anything, with Odell out there, it would have been better because you're attracting a defensive player to Odell. Now that they don't have to, they can have someone.
Baker would
their man
Baker
on
would
the
throw the
running
ball
back.
to it. Baker would just force the pass. I think now he's more of okay. Let me follow the system. Let me follow the plan. I don't think they're gonna go 16-0. That's gonna be very tough, and I would be very impressed if they do that. Just like any team.
If a Dolphins team did it, it must not be that tough.
Well, that it's the best team of all time did it. How many times has the Giants gone undefeated?
You're right.
Tell me about the time the Giants were undefeated.
The New England Patriots did it. You're right. The best football team of all time.
Tell me about the time the Giants were undefeated.
The New England Patriots did it in, was it 2009? You're absolutely right. The best football team.
But no, but answer the question. Tell me the season where the New York Giants went undefeated. I can't wait to hear. Oh, wait. Oh, they haven't because we have the greatest team of all time.
I can tell you the decades that they've won a Super Bowl.
I can tell you that
was
we
alive
have the greatest football team of all time. We have the greatest
how many
football
Super?
team of all
Wait,
time.
I'm sorry. Wait, how old were you when this greatest football team of all time was? How old were you? I forgot.
Maybe if Daniel Day-Lewis Jones
How
watched some more
old were
games,
you?
he'd be a better quarterback.
How old are you? You can't because you weren't alive.
Okay. Then why are you talking about it? You weren't alive either. You weren't even there to support them. Tell me, Bucks. Are the Bucks in trouble or are they not in trouble? Are they imposters? What's going on with the Bucks?
They're looking more and more like imposters that people are figuring out your boy, the GOAT, Tom Brady, and he doesn't have Bill Belichick to hide behind anymore. So I think they're being figured out. I still think they'll make the playoffs because I was looking at it today, and in the hunt, you know how you usually have teams that are like 7-3. In the hunt, you have the Minnesota Vikings at 4-6. You have the Bears at 5-5.
I know those records are bad, right?
The Bucks are gonna.
I know. Keep doing that. Keep doing that disgusted face of those records, and then tell me the records of the NFC least.
The Bucks at 6-5.
Talk shit about all these teams.
The Bucks at like 6-5.
And his own team is pathetic. Doesn't even have a winning record.
The Bucks at like 6-5 are gonna make the playoffs no matter what.
The Bucks are in 6-5.
What are they?
The Bucks are not 6-5.
They're close to it.
They're not 6-5.
What are they?
Go Google this since you don't know your own statistics. But I will tell you, Tom Brady, who is the GOAT, does not need Bill Belichick. The problem is that Bruce Arians is probably one of the worst coaches in the NFL right now. He doesn't adjust when Tom Brady isn't a long thrower of the ball, but Bruce Arians loves to do this Brett Favre offense where he just slings the ball, which is why Tom Brady's about to have a career high in interceptions when Tom Brady's not that type of player. Here we go. We have a Giants fan.
I'm just going to leave it up there because the Giants have
quarterbacks of all time.
The Giants have never wasted any of their great quarterbacks.
Look. I want you to keep that quote. Replace it from Dolphins to Giants because that's exactly what Melo's going to be saying about Daniel Day-Lewis Jones one day. Oh, we wasted Daniel Jones' career because he has no O-line. Even though it's already proven today that we saw factually and it was spoken that the Giants have an O-line. So it's ridiculous that his excuse is that they have no O-line. Or maybe if Daniel Day-Lewis Jones didn't hold the ball for so long, there wouldn't be a sack.
Ranked offensive line of the league. 31st ranked. Meaning there's only one O-line.
Because your quarterback holds on to the ball for an hour.
That has nothing to do with it.
It has everything to do with everything because I was a Ryan Tannehill in my team and he would hold on to the ball forever. And that's what Daniel Day-Lewis Jones does.
That's not what he's doing.
That's what he always does.
Unless
he has 0 touchdowns the past 2 weeks. The man does not know how to. 3 weeks. He
ran it. First off, he threw plenty of touchdowns against your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Not talking about this Sunday. He hasn't thrown a touchdown in 3 weeks.
They were on a bye week this past week.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And the week before that, he ran for a 34-yard touchdown.
He ran for a touchdown. He's a running back now. That's why he's a quarterback. He's acting. He's an actor.
You know what? He has to be a running back,
bro.
He has to be the running back.
22 Dumb Street. Is that Channing Tatum out there, dude?
He has to be the running back because their number one running back got hurt in game 2 of the year. So who's leading the league in rushes? Leading the team in rushing yards? It's Daniel Jones. Who I showed you this set. Who has the highest rushing average per rush?
Hold on. How much are the attempts? How much did it say the attempts? You had to attempt it how many?
Minimum of 10. Meaning
10 attempts. That's ridiculous.
What are you talking about? How's that ridiculous?
10 attempts. Everybody has 10 attempts.
And somehow, who is still on the top of that?
Oh my
It's
God.
not Lamar Jackson. It's not
He had
Pat
180-yard
Mahomes. It's
run.
not
He
Kyler
got
Murray.
lucky and he
It
tripped.
definitely isn't
And
Tua.
he tripped.
It's not Tua Tagovailoa. No, it's not him either. It's Daniel Jones who's leading them. So
I'm putting 15
say
minutes
all
on the
this
clock.
talk.
You want to talk
Wait
about
till he gets an
Tua?
offensive
Let's
line.
talk about Tua. Tua is a developing player. I am not bothered that he got benched. I mean, I wish he hadn't gotten started. I think my boy. Oh my God, he hasn't started.
Ryan
so long.
Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzmagic. That's the magic we were talking about, Tim. Ryan Fitzmagic. That wasn't the magic we were talking about. Ryan Fitzmagic should have started this whole season. He would have won those games, and he almost won his last game too. I'm not bothered that he got benched though. He's a developing player. It makes sense that he got benched. He was struggling, and it's okay. He's still he's having a better career. His first couple games, he's having a better season than Daniel Day-Lewis Jones's career.
He has a better team.
He has more touchdowns, less interceptions. They have an equally good team. They both have the.
No, they don't.
We heard it today.
Daniel Jones.
We heard it today.
I'm sorry.
We heard it today.
If we go back to you said first year. If we go back to last season, Daniel Jones' one offensive line has still been crap.
Here we go.
And the defense was terrible too.
Always.
They had no one on defense.
Okay,
Your defense is the one carrying.
All right.
Tua
Let's talk
Tagovailoa.
about Tua. Let's talk about Tua because Daniel Day-Lewis Jones is an actor. This is a real quarterback. He got benched for playing bad his first year. That's fine. He played bad.
Daniel
He's
Jones hasn't
developing.
gotten benched, so
Then who are they gonna bench him for? Who else do they have?
they had Eli Manning last
I'm
season.
talking about this year. Who else are they gonna
Okay,
have?
but no, we're going based off year one. We're not gonna go based off year two.
Dude, the reason
We're
why
gonna
they're
go
not
based
benching
off
him
year
is
one.
because they
He
want
had
to keep
Eli
losing.
Manning, of course. Because let's say Fitzmagic retires this year, then next year, who did he have? Obviously, he's gonna be playing the whole season. Last year, we had Eli, where they could have easily inserted Eli. No, and they didn't. The only time Eli played,
They should have kept Eli. They should. Yeah, you know it, and I know it. That he got benched, and that was the wrong call. They would have had a better season with Eli. Fitzpatrick is a first half of the season quarterback. He is Fitzmagic, and this was his year. Thank you, Bruce. How about you? You see, you never put the stuff where people agree with you.
I never
That's why
disagreed that
nobody
he
knows.
wasn't.
That's why nobody knows. Like everybody always agrees with what I'm saying. You see, Bruce Arians is a horrible head coach. That's the problem. It's not Tom Brady. Tom Brady is not the issue with the Buccaneers. Has Tom Brady make mistakes? Of course. He had no preseason. He's still learning the system, and it doesn't help that Bruce Arians is an awful coach. If anything, we're starting to see how much Bill Belichick needs Tom Brady. That's what we're starting to see.
Not really.
Yes, because
Not
I
really.
promise you, if Tom
really.
Brady was in that team right now, they'd be number one.
I don't think so. And you want to know why? First off, I want to compliment Timmy. Timmy, I like your profile pic, by the way, liking the repping of the
Why
greatest
am
team in
I
the NFL.
on it? Am I on it?
And number two, the only reason I don't think that Tom Brady would have been number one, because the Bills right now are on fire, and number two, because half of the Patriots roster decided to take the season off. You
And
can't
Tom
tell
Brady
me
still
that
would've
team
done
was still
work.
going to compete. No, it was
Yes,
not.
Tom Brady would have still done work because Tom
No,
Brady's
he
the goal,
would
and
not.
yes, he does. Yes, he is. He
He
knows
would
that
have
system
not,
with the back
man.
of his hands.
He would have not.
All right, moving on. Favorite in the NFC least. Who do you have? East least. Yeah, NFC least. Who do you got?
So
Some
favorite to
guys
win
are
the
better
division.
coordinators and head coaches. You know what, Tim? I completely agree with you. Some guys really are, and that's why some of the best teams, when you see them, they have a former head coaches in them because some guys are just so amazing at that one skill. So I agree with you. Tell me, who's your favorite in the NFC least? Here we go. The New York Giants, of course. He loves Daniel Day-Lewis Jones. For some reason, he thinks they're going to come out on top. It's going to be the Dallas
I don't-
Cowboys.
you know what?
The
I
Dallas
don't-
Cowboys have one of the easiest schedules coming up. They're going to beat the Giants, and they're going to beat the rest of the NFC least, and they're going to make the playoffs with the Ginger Andy Dalton.
I'm going to say the favorite right now is still the Philadelphia Eagles, unfortunately. As bad as Carson Wentz has
is
been,
awful, dude.
as bad as he has been, they have that tie that is helping them out.
They're going to keep losing. They're going to lose this week again.
They might just.
No, they will. They're beating
But if
Seattle.
so, you're right. But they might just. But if somehow the Cowboys end up to screw it up, and it goes down to the last game, guess who's gonna beat them? It's gonna be the New York Giants.
The Giants.
The Eagles will get in because of that tie that they have. That's why I still think they're the favorite. That tie changes it up. If the playoffs started today, they're in based off that tie. Everyone has the same wins, but they have one less loss because of that damn tie.
Well, for me, it's the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're going to get a nice little run going on right now with Andy Dalton. They're going to hopefully start playing better.
Well, their defense is playing
Did you hear
better.
what the Cowboys head coach did?
Oh, that he was busting watermelons before the game.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Who gets that? Like, who is motivated by that?
That's ridiculous. That's weird, dude.
It's
That's
so
messed
weird.
up. That's messed up. You know, in a league, and that's wrong, bro. I can't believe they did that. I mean, I hate that I even picked them to win, but I think they have the best chance to win.
You're right. Their
in the
record helps
division.
them out. I just think that tie, as long as the Eagles don't suck it up enough, they still play Washington again.
Dude, think about it. I talk trash about your quarterback, and I think Carson Wentz is actually worse. A couple of weeks ago, I said you guys have the worst quarterback. Man, that has changed. A lot changes in 2 weeks. And wow, man. You know what's better than a quarterback who doesn't throw touchdowns? A quarterback who just keeps throwing interceptions and fumbles. That guy is, bro, I think he has like 10 interceptions.
14 and 9.
10 interceptions.
No, 14 interceptions and 9 fumbles.
And 9 fumbles. Something ridiculous. He's a turnover machine, man. They should have never let go of Nick Foles. All right, so that's our NFC talk. The reason why we keep talking about the NFC, ladies and gentlemen, is because they are the worst division in football. And it's just interesting to see that any team can make it to the
worst
playoffs.
division in football, but that division has produced, count them, not 1, not 2,
goodness.
but 3 Super Bowl champions in the last decade.
Why do you do that? Listen, Skip. Why do you do that? I'm not saying they're the worst division in football historically. I said they are the worst division in football right now. And
That's
just
not what
admit
you said.
it.
You said they're the worst division in football. I'm just
Yes,
stating
right now.
the worst division in football
Well,
has produced winners.
I thought you would understand, but I'm saying this year they are the worst division in football. All right, so MVP update. Who do you have? Who do you think? I had Russell Wilson. I feel like it's tough that I can't stay on my pick at this point, but I'll stick with my pick, Russell Wilson. And then number 2 for me is Patty Mahomes.
Mahomie, baby. Mahomie, man, that guy
he's
is
taking it away, man.
It's funny. I saw a comparison that people were making of him, and then I was like, wow, they're right. They're saying that Mahomes is the Steph Curry of football, that he's going to be changing the league. And
That's not enough, dude.
what do you mean?
He's way more.
You
dude.
think he's better than Steph?
Yeah, man.
But he's got to be like a Steph, like young, and he's doing things that people don't normally see.
But you know what, man? It's like, I think Steph is a good example, but if Steph would have also had like Westbrook. It's like if Westbrook was Steph Curry also. It's like Westbrook with a shot. And I know that's insane of an athlete, but hey, think about it. If Westbrook just had a 3-point shot like Curry, which is possible.
But you want to know why maybe that's Steph is a better comparison? Because you brought this up where you're saying that the only thing we don't know about Mahomes is whether or not he's clutch in the fourth quarter when he's down by 3.
Yeah, but
4.
Curry's not clutch.
Curry's clutch.
No, Curry, he actually has a lot of instances where he wasn't clutch.
You're right,
they would win by a lot.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe Steph is a good comparison.
I guess
Because
you're
we
right.
still don't know
Okay, I guess
that
you're
about
right then.
Mahomes.
You're right. I guess the reason why I'm torn about the comparison is I feel, man, this is Mahomes.
You think he's better?
Yeah, it's his 3rd year in the league, man. And it took Curry a couple years to finally develop and then get his team. They were like,
You're right.
hey, Mahomes, here's your team. He's like, okay. And there is no sophomore blues. It's just like, let's go another championship.
Well, he went into a good situation, man. Because
No, I agree.
before that, Alex Smith had him in the playoffs. Again, Alex Smith can never be the guy to get the job done.
And I agree with you on that. And there's a lot of quarterbacks who go into good situations. Ben went into a good situation. Russell Wilson went into a good situation. But even then, I don't remember saying with Russell Wilson, this is why they're winning. It was more of,
A team.
man, that defense is nasty and Russell Wilson fits the piece. Ben Roethlisberger is winning, but man, that defense is nasty. Like this was, this kid's an MVP. So I think that's the difference. He was the MVP of the team. All right, so moving on. Dude, we'll talk about this quick. Jets eliminated from playoffs.
The first team eliminated from the playoffs. You think right now it's them in Jacksonville fighting for that number one? What is it? The number 1 pick.
I think.
Who do you think gets it?
One player's gonna mess it up for the Jets, and that's Frank Gore. Frank Gore's gonna have a 200-yard game. He's like, I'm not going down like this. He's gonna want to win a game, and the Jaguars are just gonna. I think the Jaguars get it at the end. I think the Jaguars.
Do they
are gonna
play
get
each
it
other? I'm gonna look that up.
because just in typical New York Jets fashion, they're gonna somehow mess it up. But I think the Jags are gonna get that first overall, and they're gonna win the Lawrence.
if he comes out.
Oh, that's
Because if
true.
he doesn't come out, I mean, I would have want to play for Jacksonville.
But it's interesting to see, and we have some more bad news with injuries coming in. We have Joe Burrow from the Cincinnati Bengals, who was having arguably or non-arguably the best season for a rookie quarterback this year.
He was having him and Herbert, I think, were 1-1, but he had a very gruesome injury. The knee looked way out of place, and it was confirmed torn ACL, MCL, and more. So it's gonna be a tough man. You know what? Cincinnati quarterbacks reminds me of Carson Palmer, man. He came back, but he wasn't the same Carson Palmer that he was. Hopefully, Burrow's a lot younger than him. Like the medicine now is a lot better. He comes back and he's healthy.
If any quarterback can just look at what Alex Smith has gone through and just talk to him and see what he did, because that man does not have a leg. He's out there with, I think, from watching the documentary, they got from his thigh or from somewhere and put it there, and it's like a Frankenstein leg. And
he has basically a metal rod.
Yeah,
his new leg.
It's incredible he's even out there.
So, out of these games, which one do you think the Jets mess up then? It's the Dolphins this week. I'm gonna say that one. The Oakland Raiders next, then the Seahawks, then the Rams, then the Browns, and then the Patriots. You think they'll win the last game of the season against the Patriots?
They're gonna beat the Patriots. I think the whole Patriots team is gonna check out once out of the playoffs, and they're just gonna go. Yeah, I think Cam's gonna find a way to not play that game to stay healthy. So maybe that one. They could put it off against the Browns too.
I don't know about the Browns. And look, this is
it's just that you just told me the Raiders and the Rams, and you're throwing the.
Well, look at the Jaguars. The Jaguars play the Browns, then they play the Vikings, the Titans, the Ravens, the Bears, and then the Colts.
Judging by those schedules, they both have one game that they can beat the Vikings.
I don't think the Jaguars beat the
But
Vikings.
once again, you're telling me I'm trying to give you what I'm saying.
You're saying that's the most likely one.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
I would say the Bears would be more likely.
Oh, okay. Then you know what? The Jaguars have more chances to win a game then. That's for sure. All right. Well, that's enough football talk. Let's finish it off with some baseball. Robinson Cano recently got suspended for PEDs. Robinson Cano, former New York Yankee. What's going on with this guy? He got caught with steroids. Taking that Jose Canseco, like what's going on?
Oh my God, Robbie Cano. I think isn't this the second time?
His second time he's out for the season. He's out for the season. It just confuses me. I don't understand. Is the end of your career? Is it because he was trying to take steroids to? Is it the end of his Is it a contract year? I don't know why he. It's a shame. It's a shame that now he has even more tainted career at this point now to get caught a second time.
And he's basically leaving $26 million on the table just because.
That's what it was. Thank you for reminding me. $26 million. Like, you're already getting paid. Don't mess it up. Just go out there and embarrass yourself.
Exactly. He could have literally just gotten hurt with this last season with the Mets, and he was going to make $26 million.
Man,
and now you just
incredible.
jeopardize that. Oh, absolutely, Timmy. I thought at first I was kind of disappointed. He went to Seattle, but. Yeah. Now we're looking like geniuses.
But yeah, let's finish this off with a topic that I'm really interested in, and that's Baseball Hall of Fame. We have players like Curt Schilling, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, who have not been voted in, and they're once again this year seem to be the only real candidates.
There's actually one.
Which other one?
That's he's gonna become Mr. Miami soon.
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter, this is going to be his first year on the ballot.
He might be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He better be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's my favorite baseball player, but I'm also he's not the greatest shortstop of all time though. It's not. I hold like that's an honor to be a first ballot, and you think he's deserving of it?
Absolutely.
He's not the greatest shortstop of all time. Statistically, he's not. He's a great leader hits. And he's a great postseason player.
He's got 3,000 hits. What?
But besides the point, okay, so Derek Jeter, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But what I'm talking about is we need to take off this stigma of not voting in players who took steroids. If a player gets caught with steroids now, then let's put it and put it in their record. And now from the couple years ago till now, like, you're for sure cheating. Back then, was it cheating? Yeah, but people turned the eye. There weren't real rules. There was no real regulation on it. Everybody was on it. So at this point, just like everything else, let's just put them in the record books. We'll write their story, but put them in the Hall of Fame. Because even Barry Bonds' first half of his career, who was the example that we were talking about? There was a baseball player that we were comparing it that you told me was a Hall of Famer, and I go, Nick Swisher. We saw. That's the end of the quarter, but yeah, we saw Nick Swisher, and he asked me a question while we were at the gym because Melo's still going strong. We're still working out. He asked me, "Do you think Nick Swisher's a Hall of Famer?" And I go, "Absolutely not. I've never once looked at Nick Swisher and was like, he's a Hall of Famer." Barry Bonds' first half of his career when he wasn't on steroids is way better than Nick Swisher's whole career. So I feel baseball should just get over the fact that these voters get over it. Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player of all time. And that's a debate we should have one of these days.
Do you think Barry Bonds is the greatest
I
baseball player?
I think Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player of all time.
And this is why we're going to lose viewers. You saying atrocious things like that. I do believe, though, Curt Schilling should already be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's ridiculous that he hasn't.
Yeah.
As much as I disliked him playing him, the Yankees versus Red Sox, I think he deserves that Hall of Fame already.
Dude, they're giving him the Terrell Owens treatment just because of his attitude and because he's conservative. And sure, he made a couple stupid gaming mistakes, betting on his money. But what the hell? That's nobody's problem. Man, Curt Schilling definitely should be. But so should Roger Clemens. And Barry Bonds. And Alex Rodriguez.
Hey, we haven't gotten to A-Rod yet. So hopefully he makes it.
He should be in there.
He absolutely should.
All right, that's the end of the fourth quarter. Thank you guys for listening to that. Now we're moving on to arguably our favorite section.
Jimmy says not Schilling.
You see? He's an asshole. Everybody thinks he's an asshole. What does that have to do with baseball?
Yeah, come on. Yes, did he play? There's plenty of guys.
There's no crying in baseball.
I'm going to give him a good reference. Is Hulk Hogan not an asshole? Is he not a horrible human being that a lot of people like to say? Are you going to take Hulk Hogan out of the Hall of Fame? No. So, and then he goes. Babe Ruth is still the GOAT.
Oh, my goodness.
Nobody has done what he did.
Who's this Baby Ruthie? Who is this? The Great Bambino. Listen, yes, Babe Ruth.
Hank Aaron. I think he's better than Barry Bonds.
Nah. Bro, Barry Bonds crushed all their records. Well, as you see, we'll debate about this another time. We'll definitely have we'll probably do that before baseball season starts. We'll do a nice little bracket, see what the best baseball player is. All right, so now time for OT, overtime, where we discuss everything but sports.
Everyone's favorite segment.
So we started off with what we were talking to Tim about the Magic.
No, let's leave him.
You sure?
Let's leave him tuned in till the end.
All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is Deadpool 3. Disney confirmed it.
It's going to be rated R.
Rated R, and they have it's going to be very progressive. They're going to get 2 female writers, so it's going to be different, but hopefully the same.
I think so. Ryan Reynolds is still going to be giving his input, so I think we're still safe to say that it's still going to be the good Deadpool. And my question is, a lot of people are talking, do we get a little Hugh Jackman Wolverine in it? That's what everyone wants to see. Everybody wants to see that. Is that what we're going to get in this third one?
So the thing with Deadpool is you can do anything and everything. He breaks that wall and he can talk to anyone and switch it up.
And now he's time traveling.
He can go anywhere. He can just be like, I don't want to be in this comic. I mean, I wouldn't take it past him if he just jumps out of a comic and then goes to another comic that says like Marvel, Disney or something. I don't know. And then starts in that comic, and he just jumps into like a storyline with Hugh Jackman in a scene, and then he goes, oh, wrong comic, and then goes into another one. And he's in the whole Avengers world. I mean, look at that. They pay me. I just told you your whole script. Genius.
So it's safe to say you're excited about this.
I love Deadpool. That's my nephew's favorite superhero. Deadpool is awesome. Ryan Reynolds is awesome. He was born to play that role, just like Robert Downey Jr. was born to play Iron Man, and just like Sean Connery was born to play James Bond.
You mean Pierce Brosnan?
Okay. So tell me what's happening in the Stranger Things world for season 4.
Well, let's see. Deadpool might be the new Stan Lee with cameos in every movie. That's interesting. Would you like to see Deadpool in every future movie? Him just appearing, Guardians of the Galaxy, or I don't know, Spider-Man and things like. Oh, I mean, I like to see him in Spider-Man, but what do you think? Would that be a good thing to do? Have him replace Stan Lee in every other movie?
I don't think anybody should replace Stan Lee.
Absolutely not. But it's a little hint towards him, especially if Disney wants to keep it Disney and not make these rated R movies all the other times. It's a good way to keep him relevant,
I guess.
So, where was I going with this? Oh, okay. So it's funny. A couple shows ago, Volume 17. By the way, did we reference that this is Volume 20? This is episode 20 of the 4-quarter show. So thank you everyone who stayed this long for our 20th episode. We appreciate it. So much love and support for all you guys. But in episode 17, we had a little Halloween bracket, and a certain somebody won that movie bracket, and that was none other than A Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was Freddy Krueger and Robert Englund's infamous role. And it was announced this past week that for Stranger Things Season 4, which is already in production, Mr. Freddy Krueger himself, well, he's not going to be Freddy Krueger, he's going to be Robert Englund, and he's going to be playing a Freddy Krueger-esque type of role where he's in a mental hospital, and he's there for whatever other reasons he did in the past, and they're going to be playing a nod to that role of Freddy Krueger. And it's so funny that we talk about it, and it's happened a lot with the show where we bring something up, and then a couple days later, either what we say happens or we're bringing someone's career back to life. And that's exactly what is happening right now with Robert. And I love it because to me, he's such a great actor. Everything he's been in, whether Freddy Krueger or not, playing himself, he's done great in. And I love that he's getting this role to come back, especially in Stranger Things, which has just been a hit. And if you're a fan of the 80s stuff, it's even better. What do you think of it, sir?
I think I haven't seen season 3 yet. I'm gonna watch it, but season 4, you add Robert into it, that's gonna be amazing. He's a phenomenal actor, and I kind of hope they do like a creepy thing. I kind of hope I don't want him to be a nice guy.
No, absolutely not. His role's supposed to be something. I don't know if it's gonna be one of those like creepy. He ends up being nice people, and then you're like feel sorry for, or he's just gonna divulge into like that being really really creepy role, which is what I hope he does because that's him. He can play that to a T. So we'll have to see. I'm definitely excited about Stranger Things Season 4. You need to get on your roll watching Season 3, man.
There's so many shows, man.
Stop watching The Phantom Menace and watch Season 3 of Stranger Things. All right, moving on. It's funny. We were going to bring up this topic a couple weeks ago when it first got announced, but it kept getting pushed back because we had so many different things come up in overtime and in the show that we kept pushing it back. And finally today, we're bringing it on, but for a different reason. And that is none other than the Chappelle Show. We're going to bring it on because they had announced that it was going to be on Netflix. You're going to be able to watch all the seasons. However, now, if you guys try to go find Chappelle Show on Netflix, it is no longer there. Netflix took it off at the request of Dave Chappelle. And do you want to let us know why there, Align?
Because Chappelle said he ain't getting paid. When he left the Chappelle Show, he was under contract. And since he didn't finish his contract, he's not doing any of the money that comes from the show after or anything to do with, when it's on HBO Max or whenever it's being shown. He gets no money from that. He does not agree with that. Chappelle thinks he deserves to get paid since he was one of the creators, which he told Netflix about his situation. And Netflix did the honorable thing of doing, you know what? We'll take it off for you. Because he does do comedy specials for Netflix, so they have a relationship. And Dave Chappelle got Netflix to take it off. HBO Max said, I don't give a fudge. So they left it on. So now Dave is saying, boycott the Chappelle Show. Boycott my own show because I'm not getting paid from it. I think that's hilarious. that comedians have been talking so much smack about people about boycotting things. I understand why he wants to boycott. I understand there's a reason for it. It just makes me laugh how they're always making fun of us for what we do to boycott things, and now Dave's telling us to boycott his show because he's not getting paid, even though he was under contract. Like, it's just one of those things, you know. He didn't fulfill his contract obligations, so it's just one of those things that's gonna get caught.
It's only his own fault.
Look, yeah, it's his own fault. Does it suck? Of course. I'm sorry. Does it suck? Of course, you know, but it is his own fault. I understand why he left the show, and of course he felt uncomfortable. He didn't like the way the show was going. So I admire him for that. But at the end of the day, he did sign that contract, but it's dope. It's dope that Netflix was on his side and is taking it out. So
absolutely, I think that's big on them, and I think it just says. Well, we read a comment with someone with this article that said that basically he should just do his own sketch comedy thing on Netflix. But I don't think he's at that point where he doesn't want to do that anymore. He'll just want to do stands up, which it's fine. As long as he chucks it up through Netflix, hey, go right ahead. Even though he was on Saturday Night Live and did do sketch comedy there, and he did a good job. So, all right, moving on. We have a situation.
Are we having a situation?
We have a situation.
Or is a situation having a situation?
The situation is having would it be a little issue? What do we call it? A little situation?
He's having a mini situation.
That is right. I know a lot of people are tuning in just to hear this, but it's been confirmed that Mike, the situation, Sorrentino, is having a baby with his wife, Lawrence, whatever. Her name is Lauren, but for some reason they call her Lawrence. What do you think about this little situation?
Congratulations. I'm happy for him. I know I used to be a big Jersey Shore fan. I haven't seen any of the new stuff, but I used to love it when I was a kid. I used to love the shirt. What is the shirt before the shirt?
The shirt before the shirt, GTL.
GTL. I was living that life when I was living in San Diego. I was definitely living the gym tan laundry life.
You were tanning?
Yes, I was. I would go. I would go to the gym in the morning, and then after the gym, I would go back to the house, shower, and then go upstairs. We had a rooftop pool, and I would go tanning, and then after my tan, I would go do laundry. I was living the GTL life. So, congratulations to the situation for having a baby.
I still live the shirt before the shirt, but
I know.
You were saying that you haven't watched it lately, so you don't know the transformation that situation has had.
I know he was in jail.
Yes, but the way
taxes or something.
Yeah, for evading his taxes. But the transformation from the situation that you had back when we were young to now is a 180, man. The man has changed his whole life. Now, like, he doesn't drink anymore.
That's awful. How is this show even fun anymore?
Because you still have everyone else that's drinking. You still have Pauly D and Vinny.
They drink in front of him? Those are awful friends.
He's okay with it.
Yeah, I have a drinking problem. Hey, no problem. Cheers.
Yeah, they go. I think when was it for one of their last seasons? It was Double Shot of Love season 2. He went out to when Pauly was in Vegas DJing at Dre's, and he was there perfectly fine. You know, it's good. He doesn't mind being in those situations, pun intended. So he's good. Honestly, like the way he's changed his life around, I'm happy for him and his wife that they're getting this child, because they were trying at the beginning of this year. So it's good for them. And now we're here to what we were talking about, a little magic we saw a little earlier before starting the show. You look very disappointed by the magician that we witnessed.
I saw something I was very disappointed about. We're huge wrestling fans. Did Vince McMahon throw the F word out there?
No, he didn't.
He didn't say WWF? But I was very disappointed in Survivor Series. Me and Melo are wrestling fans. I know wrestling fans.
He wasn't disappointed by the event. He was disappointed by the ending of the show.
Yeah, that's what matters. The end. Duh, right? That's what everybody cares about. The ending, the fourth quarter. That's what everybody cares about. There's so many things wrong with what happened that I'm just so confused. They had a ceremony to say farewell to the Undertaker. and I just don't know what the fuck they were trying to execute. I had to say the F word because I don't know what.
You said the F word.
I had to, and I never do. I had to do a LeBron James and not care about the people who look up to me. I had to throw the F word out there because I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what the Undertaker was doing. He's been bitching and moaning and crying about how he wants the right way to go out, and this was it. This is what you've been holding off for 3 years. If you wanted to retire from a shitty event, you should have retired with the WrestleMania match, the one that they say sucked. Which one was it? The one with
WrestleMania 33 with Roman Reigns.
But listen. Was the match shitty? Sure it was. But did you have the electricity of the fans, where you folded your clothes, where you put the hat, where your fans were crying, and people were actually saying thank you, Taker, not this bullshit that they put fake. Oh, Taker! What? Those aren't even real fans. You're putting recordings. Okay, I'm ranting. I'm confused why they had people come out with their theme songs the first 10, 15 minutes of this, and then Kane shows up fitted with his outfit. I don't even. If Kane would have at least popped out of a corner while Undertaker or him and Taker and Kane did like their arm lifts at the end, I would have been like, oh, dope. It makes sense why Kane dressed up. But it's like they all messed with Kane. Hey, Kane, remember, we're doing the farewell. We're all dressing up. I don't understand. And then they all leave. They all come out. They high-five each other like morons and then walk out. And then Undertaker comes, and then my favorite part. He gets to the edge of the ring. He comes up the steps. Something he's never done before. He levitates. The man levitates.
He learned the new trick after 30 years.
I have never seen him do that. Where were these powers the past 30 years? Why didn't he levitate before? This was just ridiculous. And then he gives some half speech that made no sense to me. Like, dude, just leave kayfabe. Just take your hat off and talk to us. Tell us, hey, open up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Love you guys all. And something from the heart. Not like, no, I'm gonna thank you and I'm gonna rest in peace and he's out. Deuces.
I definitely did not. That was one thing I thought was gonna happen. I thought we were gonna hear from him, not when I started hearing talking like this and saying it's time to put the Undertaker to rest. I was like, okay. What? I think I wouldn't blame so much Taker like you're blaming him. I gotta blame Vince and all of them. Like, it feels like they put this together very last minute and they said, oh man, it's like they realized, you know that this is gonna be 30 years to the date that the Undertaker debuted. And it's like, oh shoot, it's right. Maybe we should do something. And they put this out on the spot. And I just thought it was mind-boggling that they did that. And you know what? We have actually someone that's going to chime in about this. And it is none other than Mr. Tim Tabala from the Just Too Sweet Show.
What's up, boys? What's going on?
Hey, Timmy. I know we had to talk about the magic that was happening here.
I had to jump in for this part. I watched the whole show. I might as well jump in at the end.
Yeah, Timmy. So it's like I'll go chime in before Toaline puts his headphones on. What I was saying, I just think they did him a disservice with this. I was cracking up when Kane came out full gear, like he was going for a wrestling match. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. What were they doing there?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we were in the chat message. I agree 1,000%. And I can't lie. I actually passed out cold. Right, because I was tired. I had a rough day that day. I was up at like 6 o'clock that day, and I passed out right after the finish of Roman and Drew. And I was even telling my wife, "I'm falling asleep. I hope I wake up in time for the Taker thing." I woke up when Vince was out there, so I'm going, wait a minute, where's all these guys that were supposed to pop out? Where is this? Who happened? And then I saw Taker's thing. I was like, that's it. That is
Listen, Tim,
that is really it.
You're lucky you missed that because it's a waste of time. 10 guys coming out for no apparent reason other than to high five each other and slap ass.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
The next day, I'm seeing the pictures. I'm going, when did this happen? Off the air? And people are like, no, it happened right before Vince came in. I'm like, holy shit, I really passed out. Like, I didn't think I passed out that bad. And then I went back and I watched it. And I was like, all right, that's pretty. Like you said, Kane in full gear while everyone else was in suits. And you know what was cool? They were all in black, except for who? Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I don't do black. Ric Flair don't do black. and then Kane, you said that Kane rolls up in his mask and stuff. I was like, well, that's embarrassing. That's real embarrassing.
Man,
Well, he brought it up. Alain brought it up watching. He's like, who was the first one that came out with no suit? Oh, Shane. That Shane didn't have like a full suit. And he's like, man, these people don't care. And then Kevin Nash comes in just with like, a short sleeve button up. He's like, wow, these guys really don't give a crap about The Undertaker.
it's confusing to me, but Tim, I do have a conspiracy theory. I think because we were watching the Undertaker documentary, the Road to whatever that show was. Remember the one?
The Last Ride?
Yeah, there you go, The Last Ride. That he kept wanting to find the perfect ending. That he would do anything for Vince McMahon. I feel Vince was like, Taker, I need you. I need this to be your farewell. We're struggling to make money because of the pandemic. We need some more sales. Just retire now because we're not going to find space for you. So do me this favor, because that's the only thing that goes through my little mind as to why they did this. Other than, for me, the root of everything is money. So for me, it's like what Melo said. It's the 30th year anniversary. The sales have been bad with everything these days because of Corona. So let's just do this. Let's do this now to get a cash grab.
Well, the rumors were for a while that he was going to finish at Survivor Series on that 30th anniversary, which was fine with me. But I really think COVID had a major part of this. But they're losing so much money. I mean, then again, Vince, they claim it's WWE.
Well, I don't think Vince is losing that much money. I think, if anything, the wrestlers are losing more,
because they
losing
claim
more money
they
than him.
actually made money, because without doing house shows, without doing on the road, they basically saved a lot of money this year, supposedly.
And the rumor is there's going to be no more house shows after, even when fans come back.
And that sucks. That does suck. That sucks big time. I love me a good house show. I like when wrestlers have fun with no script. It's more fun that way.
And for them too, because they're able to test things out and do different, like see what works with the crowd. So it's unfortunate, and I don't know.
Man,
I was just extremely disappointed too. Extremely.
So you thought it was a disservice to The Undertaker?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sad.
Plus, not for nothing, no offense, I wanted to see Mark Calloway kind of. I didn't want to have an Undertaker speech.
That's what we just finished saying.
The 15-minute walk to the ring, and I wanted him to come out as himself, maybe with the suit and stuff, and leave it in the ring again like he did at WrestleMania, but this time really mean it. But come out as Mark Calloway, because everything's been Mark Calloway the last few months.
Yeah, not only has it been Mark Calloway, but it would have been nice, because this is your farewell. I think that's when it hits you. So it would have been nice to see him in that moment where it hits you as a human. Not all these interviews where it's coming. No, it's here. So talk to us. But no, we got The Undertaker. I was just hoping that, something was going to go down where, oh my God, who's this? And then Sting was going to be in the rafters and we were going to see a Sting and Undertaker fight and it was just going to go down with two old guys. That would have been such a better farewell. And you just bury Sting. I'm the better wrestler. Boom. But no, we got, when he walked away, I go, wait, someone's going to come out. Like Kane, something has to happen. No, he just walked out. He should have left at the Roman Reigns WrestleMania where there was people there. It was emotional. People were crying. He folded his clothes. He kissed his wife. He broke kayfabe, kissed his wife, and it was beautiful. But
the only way they can save it is now if Hall of Fame. That's the only way they can save this.
Yeah.
They'll have to do something. Hopefully the people will be back by then, and they can have it a proper Hall of Fame. That's the only way they can save this disaster. That was The Undertaker.
Yeah, there was honestly no emotion at all of this. The only part that you can say was might have been somewhat emotional was when you saw the Paul Bear hologram, that was pretty much it, which was cool. But besides that, it was just a disappointment. And for a good pay-per-view wasn't bad. It was a decent pay-per-view. That was just, you just were there at the end like, man, that's it.
And why dig up guys like Savio Vega and bring him out there and then not have him in the ring when Undertaker hits the ring? You want to see the camaraderie, but you know why? Kayfabe. No. The Undertaker has to be the Undertaker. You can't have those guys in the ring, which I thought was a very big mistake. They should have had Mark Calloway dressed as the Undertaker come out, shake hands, hug, do all that stuff. It would have been, like I said, emotional. You would have felt something.
Or they could have have him do his thing at the pay-per-view and then bring him in on Monday night or maybe SmackDown and then do like the Mark Calloway send-off like they've done with Ric Flair, with Shawn, where you had all like everyone from the back come in and cheer him on. You had the old school guys be in the ring, like lift him up, things like that. Like, okay, now let's see the human being behind this, the real emotion, not the Undertaker you gave us at like the pay-per-view and things like that. So,
Man, I just thought it was
I agree.
ridiculous. Also, not only was that me.
that's fine.
What was ridiculous is while Undertaker was giving his farewell speech or whatever you want to call it, why did they have fake applauses and fake cheers and thank you, Taker? I was like, wait, what?
And
That
even the
seemed-
rest in peace.
It's like well, that was so fake. Thank you, Taker. Like what? What grab is that from? What WrestleMania was that from? That just made it even worse for me. Where you could have just done an honest speech from him, or
I
even an
agree.
honest speech from Undertaker. I don't care. Just give me a real speech. Not now. The Undertaker can rest in peace. And wow. What is this nonsense, dude?
All
Yeah.
those sound things are recorded through the whole pay-per-view.
Yep.
This is awesome. There's no one there.
Yeah, I know, but
There's no
what bothers
one there.
me is that was an actual real moment, you know, like
Yeah.
someone's farewell, and then I understand, even in football games where you put the fake crowd, and totally get it, and I don't mind the fake applause. What bothered me was the thank you, Taker. You're talking for the fans now. We're thanking him for that's not who knows what we would have said.
I would have preferred it to have been quiet and
Yes.
eerie, just like that, like something out of an Undertaker match, like just something like
Yeah.
quiet, and you don't hear anything. I would have preferred.
And at least
that.
have the rest of the back come out too. I thought that was a little weird. They should all have been standing up on top of that ramp when he was walking out.
Yeah.
You know, even part ways where he walks by. So, yeah, I don't know how they didn't think this through.
Or if anything, they should have put a bike somewhere, and then right when Undertaker rides off on his bike, and boom, you say bye to both.
So,
the hand
Nothing.
up.
so Alain brought a good point when we were watching. He's like, okay, so this is the Undertaker's retiring. When did they retire the American Badass?
That's what I want to see because he's gonna come back on Raw as American Badass.
Hey, maybe that's how they'll make up for it. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
All right,
All right, Timmy, thank you so
joining
much
us.
for hopping in. Definitely,
Absolutely.
when we do the Undertaker show for the Just Too Sweet, we'll both be there to be this tiebreaker.
Yeah, we're gonna do that right because we're not gonna make sure that Undertaker Mankind is not in the final. That's a Mankind match. That's not an Undertaker match. Tired of it.
All right,
right, fellas.
Timmy, have a good
show. I'll
night.
talk to you later.
Have a good night.
All
Too.
right. Oh man.
All right.
So with that,
Put 20th episode down there. Happy 20th episode. We got 20 episodes, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this amazing ride we've been doing to 20 episodes. On to 50.
yeah, baby. 50. Happy 20th.
Happy 20th. Thank you for
Love doing it with you, brother.
subscribe to our channel. Click the bell to remind. It's for when we go on live. Next thing, add us on Instagram and Twitter. There it is, the number 4 quarter show right there. Add us, and thank you so much for watching us. We're gonna try to do something on Saturday. Maybe there's a big fight on Saturday.
Ooh, we didn't talk about that fight. We got the biggest fight there is. Logan Paul versus Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson's debut.
That's the pre-fight to Tyson and
Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones Jr. So we're gonna try to do a show maybe on Saturday. Not get too drunk. We'll see what happens. See if we can think of anything fun to do.
Yeah, we'll see. Because last time, we did one of those. Poor line over here had to do 5 challenges back to back to back to back. He looked like a Braun out there saying not 1, not 2,
not 3, not 4. And then I got the chips at the end.
Yeah. So we'll see
right.
what we do. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Episode 20. It's been a great run, and the run is only just starting.
All right, thank you guys. We love you. 4 quarters. Hopefully we brought some change in your life.
Yes. And and that you left here with a little bit more common sense. Have a good night, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.